Story 1. Once upon a time, there was a lonely child named Billy who lived in a big house with his parents. Billy didn't have many friends, so he created an imaginary friend named Charlie to keep him company. At first, Charlie was a lot of fun. Billy and Charlie would play together all day long, building forts in the backyard, playing make-believe, and even having deep conversations about life, the universe, and everything. But then, one day, things started to change. Charlie began to appear in places where he shouldn't have been. In the mirror when Billy was brushing his teeth, in the shadows at the corner of Billy's eye, even in Billy's own reflection in the window. Billy was starting to get scared. He felt like Charlie was becoming real. And then, Billy's real-life friends started to disappear. One by one, they would just vanish without a trace. Billy was terrified. He didn't know what was happening, but he had a feeling that Charlie had something to do with it. One night, Billy decided to confront Charlie. He went to his room and closed the door, his heart pounding in his chest. He whispered, "Charlie, where are my friends?" A voice, deep and raspy, echoed from the shadows. "They're with me, child. They're all mine now." Billy was frozen with fear. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. Charlie, his imaginary friend, had turned into some kind of monster. Billy tried to run, but Charlie blocked his way. Charlie was tall and gaunt, with glowing red eyes and a twisted grin. He lunged at Billy and Billy screamed. Just when Billy thought all was lost, he remembered something his grandmother had told him. She said that imaginary friends are only as powerful as we make them. If we stop believing in them, they'll disappear. So, Billy closed his eyes and focused on the image of his real-life friends. He thought about all the good times they'd had together, all the laughter and joy. And as he did, Charlie began to fade away. When Billy opened his eyes, Charlie was gone. Billy's real-life friends were back, and they were all worried sick about him. Billy never saw Charlie again, but he never forgot him either. He taught Billy a valuable lesson about the power of imagination and the importance of real friendship. Story 2. There was a boy called Little Timmy. He was an adorable kid, but Timmy had a secret, an invisible playmate named Sparky. Sparky was the coolest imaginary friend ever, according to Timmy. They'd play hide and seek in the house, build forts out of blankets, and even have whispered conversations late at night. Timmy's parents thought it was cute, a sign of a vivid imagination. But as time went on, things started to get a little weird. Strange occurrences and accidents would happen whenever Sparky was around. A vase would mysteriously topple over, a picture frame would crash to the floor, and Timmy would come home with unexplained bruises. Timmy's parents, initially brushing it off as childish clumsiness, started to get concerned. The accidents were becoming more frequent, and Timmy's behavior was changing. He was becoming withdrawn, secretive, and even a bit aggressive. Determined to get to the bottom of it, Timmy's parents began to investigate. They dug into the house's history, talked to old neighbors, and even consulted a paranormal expert. What they uncovered was a chilling tale involving an imaginary friend and a tragic accident that had happened decades ago. Turns out, years before, a young boy named Billy had lived in the same house. Billy, like Timmy, had an imaginary friend named Sparky. However, Sparky's playfulness had taken a dark turn, leading Billy to a fatal accident. The paranormal expert explained that the tragic incident had left a residual energy in the house, a malevolent force that was feeding off Timmy's belief in Sparky. The more Timmy interacted with Sparky, the stronger the force grew, and the more dangerous the occurrences became. Timmy's parents were horrified. They realized that their son's innocent imaginary friend was actually a malevolent entity. They had to protect him, but how do you fight something you can't even see? The paranormal expert suggested a ritual, a way to sever the connection between Timmy and Sparky. It was a risky procedure, but it was their only chance to save their son. The night of the ritual was tense. The air crackled with energy as Timmy's parents and the paranormal expert gathered around Timmy's bed. They spoke ancient words, burned sage, and performed a series of symbolic gestures. The house shook as Sparky fought back, but the ritual was too strong. Sparky's hold on Timmy weakened, and the malevolent force dissipated. In the morning, Timmy woke up refreshed and happy. He still had memories of Sparky, but the fear and darkness had gone. The strange occurrences stopped, and Timmy's behavior returned to normal. Timmy's parents never forgot the ordeal, but they were grateful that their son was safe. They learned a valuable lesson about the power of belief and the importance of staying vigilant, even when it comes to the imaginative world of children. And as for Sparky, well, let's just say he's no longer welcome in Timmy's house. Story 3. So there was this girl named Lily who lived in this cute little town nestled among rolling hills and whispering pine trees. Lily was always curious and adventurous, always poking her nose into every nook and cranny of her old creaky house. One day, while digging through her grandma's attic, Lily stumbled upon an antique porcelain doll. Its face was painted in these delicate shades of pink and blue, and its glassy eyes seemed to stare right into her soul. Lily was instantly smitten. The doll's porcelain skin was cool against her fingertips, and its vacant gaze was somehow mesmerizing. Lily named the doll Seraphina and took it everywhere she went. Seraphina became Lily's BFF, her confidant, her secret sharer. They'd whisper secrets to each other, share dreams and fears, and play these elaborate make-believe games. At first, Seraphina seemed to bring Lily nothing but joy. Lily's laughter echoed through the house, her imagination running wild with Seraphina by her side. But as days turned into weeks, something weird started happening. Lily's once bright and cheerful demeanor turned dark. She became withdrawn, her laughter replaced by an eerie silence. Her eyes, once sparkling with curiosity, now held a haunted look, as if she was being chased by unseen shadows. Strange things began to happen to Lily. Toys would mysteriously move from their places, doors would creak open and slam shut on their own, and whispers, barely audible, would echo through the empty hallways of the house. Lily's parents, freaking out about their daughter's sudden change in behavior and all the inexplicable events happening around her, decided to do some digging. They searched every corner of the house, talked to neighbors, and even consulted a paranormal expert. The paranormal expert, a seasoned investigator of the unseen, recognized the signs of a malevolent entity, one that had attached itself to Lily through her connection with Seraphina. He explained that the doll wasn't just an inanimate object, but a conduit for a dark force, a force that was feeding off Lily's fear and vulnerability. The expert warned Lily's parents that this entity wouldn't leave willingly. It was determined to consume Lily's spirit, to drag her into its own realm of darkness. The only way to save Lily was to cut her off from Seraphina, to break the connection that allowed the entity to feed off her. With heavy hearts, Lily's parents decided to say goodbye to Seraphina. They wrapped the doll in a white cloth, placed it in a wooden box, and sealed it shut with ancient symbols and incantations. They buried the box deep in the forest, far away from Lily, far away from the house that had become a battleground between light and darkness. As the box was lowered into the earth, a wave of relief washed over Lily's parents. They could see the change in their daughter, the darkness lifting from her eyes, the fear receding from her stance. She was slowly turning back into the bright, cheerful girl they once knew. Lily never forgot Seraphina, but she learned to control her fear, to recognize the signs of the unseen. She continued to explore the world with her vivid imagination, but now with a newfound caution, a respect for the boundaries between the seen and the unseen.